But we're here today to talk about the new Ask the Developer interview that came out recently for Nintendo. And if you're not ready, I'm probably not ready, to be honest, for the clips. Dude, I already heard a couple ones. And the first one was like, Mario Kart Tour is not 9, which thank God we could finally lay that to rest. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Dude. I can't wait. Let's get started. And this is the 18th volume of Ask the Developer interview series in which developers convey their own words, Nintendo's thoughts about creative products, and the unusual details they hone in on. We're talking to the developers behind Mario Kart World, a Nintendo Switch 2 game launches alongside the Switch 2 system on Thursday, June 5th. By the way, that's fast approaching. That's like, what, 2 weeks away? That is exactly 2 weeks away. Exactly 2 weeks away. Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 is dropping. Insane. I won't be able to get it. Day one, I fear. Nah, that's months away. I fear. True. Part 1, taking it to the next level. First, can you briefly introduce yourselves? Months away from when I get it. It feel like that, not gonna lie. Kosuke Yabuki, referred to as Yabuki from this point on. Hello, I'm Kosuke Yabuki, the producer of Mario Kart World. W person, not gonna lie. I've been involved in the Mario Kart series since Mario Kart Wii. I was director for Mario Kart 7 and 8, and I was working as a producer on the series since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I also worked on ARMS as a producer. This is the guy who worked on ARMS. Oh. The Nintendo Switch game, released in June 2017. Yeah, ARMS was like you use motion controls with ARMS, and you control your ARMS and all that. Ken Sato, I prefer as Sato from this point on. Hello, I'm Kenta Sato, the programming director. For this game, I mainly provided direction on technical matters. I also involved as programmer for the Mario Kart series since Mario Kart 8. The Wii U one. Besides that, I also worked as a director for ARMS and was in charge of programming since Wii Sports. Damn, that's crazy. I often work on games that were designed to be fun to play together. Also, if you don't know what Wii Sports is, that's the blurb. Masaki Ishikawa. Refer to Ishikawa from this point on. Hello, I am Masaki Ishikawa, the art director, the GOAT. I was in charge of crafting the game's visual direction. Also worked on Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart 7 as character designer. Also the art director for Mario Kart 8 and ARMS. Pretty much. If you do not know where the fuck Mario Kart... If you're wondering what happened to the Mario Kart team in the Switch era, they are working on ARMS for the launch title. That's why there was no launch title for Mario Kart, besides 8 Deluxe, right? Shintaro Jikumaru, referred to as Jikumaru for this point on. Hello, I'm Shintaro Jikumaru, leading the planning team. Yeah. ARMS is an OG game. Interesting. Keep silence on that? Bet. I was responsible for the general gameplay design. I've been developing together with everyone here since Mario Kart 8 and ARMS. Yeah, because they worked on Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U game, and then they worked on ARMS, and then probably Team B worked on 8 Deluxe, not gonna lie. Atsuko Asashi. Yeah. Atsuko Asashi. Refer to Asashi from this point on. Hello. Hi, I am Atsuko Asashi. For this game, I was the music lead. The GOAT! Music lead in charge of arranging tracks and work on various things related to the background music. I've been involved in the Mario Kart series since Mario Kart 8. Besides that, I also composed music for the games such as Super Mario Maker 2. Ooh. I also worked on ARMS as sound director. Nice. If you don't know what Mario Maker is, thank you very much. To begin with, could you tell us a little about this game, Mario Kart World? Ooh. Mario Kart Big Band lead, probably? Yeah, probably. Yabuki, of course, Mario Kart World is the first new game in the series, released on a home console since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which launched around 8 years ago. This game is set in a large, seamlessly interconnected world. In addition to races, as in previous games where you complete in 3 laps of a course, you can also race on the roads that connect different courses, or even take part in knockout tour races that span the game's world. Is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more mainline than tour? I don't fucking know. It's Nintendo. In this world, you also be able to experience changes. Let me close this one tab because it's kind of blocking my way. In this world, you also be able to experience changes in the environment. This includes the time shifting between day and night, and weather changes such as rain or snow. On top of races, there's also a mode called Free Roam, where you can drive around the seamlessly interconnected world however you like. W move, I won't lie. 8 Deluxe. How does 8 Deluxe supersede 8? Definitely at this point, right? Do we just not count 8? So the various courses are interconnected. Could you tell us how the development for this game got started? We were thinking about what to do for the next Mario Kart game, even during development of Mario Kart Deluxe. They acknowledge OGA? Yeah, up here they acknowledged it. It's just funny that they're both kind of like their own thing. It's just funny. We began prototyping in March 2017. Crazy. So was Team C working on tour? Yeah, 8 Deluxe is pretty much 8.5 at this point, yeah. We began prototyping Worlds in March 2017. It was at the end of the year when we officially started work on this project. I felt that in Mario Kart Deluxe, we were able to perfect the formula that we've been trying to follow in the series at that point. I love it that they finally shut it down. Thank God. I want the discourse to be over. I'm just happy it's over. Where players race on individual courses. That's why this time we wanted the gameplay to involve players driving a large world where we began creating a world map like this. W world map. I'm still getting the vibe that this is a reboot of sorts. Looking at this, it's easy to understand how the world is connected, and on closer inspection, you can see the low detail that's gone into it. W. Yabuki, the density, didn't call it Mario Kart 9, which is base, and they shut down the tour Andes, which is also base. Best of both worlds. Agreed. I like W. The higher density areas correspond to courses like Mario Circuit and Bowser's Castle in the previous Mario Kart games. Up to the previous game, we created each course separately as an independent element. But this time we ended up with a map like this because all the courses are connected as part of the same world. In this game, rather than taking the approach of simply increasing the amount of content and adding more variations, such as the number of courses, we wanted to completely change the concept of the game and make it playable in a larger world. Complete mix-up with the formula. So they made it an adventure racing game. Complete mix-up with the genre. Like how Mario Odyssey was like changing the foundation of what a 3D Mario game was. Mario Kart World is doing that to the Mario Kart like series. Like also how Breath of the Wild changed up the Zelda formula. How Kirby Forgotten Land changed up the formula. This is Mario Kart's time to change up the formula, pretty much. That's how I'm getting from it. I don't play any of them or in Odyssey. All those games completely changed the core formula of those previous entries. Not gonna lie. But it doesn't seem that distinct to compare to Mario Kart World. Like Mario Kart World still has like the Grand Prix, so all that, but it's changing the recipe in a big way. I'd like to ask about the title first. Was it always the plan to call it Mario Kart World rather than Mario Kart 9? Or is not 9? It's over. I have my hands up. You can't see my hands. My hands are up. I'm caught. It's over. Finally, it's over. It's over. It's over. Clip it. It's over. I was wrong. Thank God. I was wrong. If the idea has just been to add more courses, then I think we would have called it Mario Kart 9. I was wrong. But that wasn't our approach this time. We wanted to take the series to the next level. So we decided to drop the numbering this time and go with a completely new title, Mario Kart World. So we already added Mario Kart World to the concept art from the early stages of development. Off rip, they wanted to make it a complete overhaul of the series. Ooh! Prototype logos. Oh, I like that. Oh, wow. That's cool. Whoa, what the fuck? Of course, this is concept art, but what the fuck is this? There's some interesting dev stuff in here, won't spoil. This looks cool. Obviously, this is probably not what the game looks like now. It's just like, concept art. That's cool. I see it written here. Written there. You must have a consistent vision from the very beginning if the name even shows up in concept art. By the way, where did the idea of connecting the world come from? In previous Mario Kart games, after finishing a course, you move on to the next course. However, I thought that with modern technology, being able to seamlessly transition between courses and realize a single vast world wasn't beyond the realm of possibility. So with this in mind, we set out to create a new kind of Mario Kart. And then that's where our troubles began. I'll tell you, this is a reboot. It's a reboot. I'm liking it though. I'm telling you. So that's how you set out on your arduous journey. Speaking of which, what did everyone else think when you first heard about this concept? Yeah, I mean, they're the directors. They got it, kid. They love Mario Kart, and you can see it in like the different concept arts, the different pieces, how consistent their vision was from the get-go. They wanted to make this work. Like I used to be seen as a shoe-in party game, but clearly shows it's way more. Definitely, absolutely. Sato. I was involved in the start of Mario Kart World's project, and at the time there was a lot of games out there set in vast worlds, like Breath of the Wild, your Horizons, I think your Dark Souls, you know. I've seen and heard about the difficulty of developing such games, so I was feeling the pressure of wondering if we could really do that with Mario Kart 2. Also, we consider it important for the Mario Kart series to run at 60 FPS. And we believe that split screen multiplayer had to be an essential element. I was excited, but at the same time I felt like it could be tough. Definitely. It is a tall order to do open world plus 60 frames per second, especially if you want to do, yeah, 60 is a essential. You can't do 30 FPS for a racing game. It's just not going to hit the same. It just won't hit the same. Frames per second, yeah, it's like, hey, how many times an image refreshes per second, pretty much. The higher number, the smoother the image, pretty much. Ishikawa, I also led the art direction during development of Mario Kart 8, and even then, changes to HD dramatically increased our capabilities to create some very distinct courses and lots of characters. Also, we were able to implement visuals from Legend of Zelda and Animal Crossing in the DLC. So I felt like, to a certain extent, we achieve everything we wanted. And that's when I heard from Yubuki-san that creating a single world Mario Kart, which I thought sounds pretty interesting. Until now, you'll only be able to express the world of Mario and the characters through different courses, so I thought this would give us a new way to portray the worlds and have a lot of potential. So when I heard about the concept, my excitement won out of my expectations about how challenging it may be. In a way, that's when all the troubles began. Yeah, because that's a daunting task. I also felt that with Mario Kart Deluxe, we pretty much perfected the formula of Mario Kart game, where each course was played separately. In a sense, I felt like a Mario Kart game where you play in an interconnected world will also be rewarding from the developer's perspective. Absolutely, yeah. But from a player's perspective, it can also sometimes feel particularly disappointing when a sequel changes too many things. Yeah, you kind of don't want to do too many changes, especially if it ends up falling on its face. It'll be like, okay, so what's the point of changing out the formula if it's not going to end up well, right? It's a dilemma, pretty much. So as someone who's interested in game development, involved in game development, I felt that our first challenge was to figure out how to add new elements while still making it satisfying for those who play previous Mario Kart games. Exactly. The sad reality of Mario Kart World. That video, man. Oh, brother. The devs just don't care anymore, guys. Crazy. Learn how to read, y'all. Reading comprehension is really important. Asahi-san, you must have also had some thoughts from a sound perspective. Ooh, sound design is about to go crazy in terms of like the all-terrain vehicles and stuff. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. All different landscapes are connected and the world is expanding. What was I going to do? That was my first thought. Until then, I was composing custom-made tracks for each course based on the weather and time of day. But now, with everything being connected and the ability to drive anywhere, there's gonna be so many more things you need to consider. We need lots of sounds to fill the gaps between courses, and because players take different routes and drive at different speeds, we have to assume that the timing of the background music transitions will vary. Yeah, dude. Yeah, break up the musics to different components. I thought we would never finish development if we approached sound creation the same way as before, and I was worried about whether we really be able to get it done. Bro, crazy. I want to hear the Bitty Buggy engine sound in this game. I just want to hear it. Oh, I'll be so. It's gonna be. Sound design is gonna be immaculate. I see. It seems that everyone felt like it was a major challenge for the direction of Mario Kart. What kind of things in particular did you keep in mind when planning moving forward with this new title? We were careful not to change things that have been important to the Mario Kart as a series purely because it was now set in the interconnected world. You still want to be Mario Kart at the end of the day, right? As before, we need to keep the fun of casually playing with your family and friends, but also have the depth where players can hone in their skills against online competition. Then here's the NSO ad. Yeah, Jikimaru. I think people who played the series up to now are looking for a Mario Kart game that feels familiar to them. So we wanted to make sure that we preserve that. This game also has new features like wall. I don't know why I my brain turned off there. Wall ride and rail ride. They can't say roll grind. That's crazy. But we made sure that you could still have fun playing with just basic control without using the new techniques. We implemented and adjusted these features, but the goal of gathering the best bits of the past Mario Kart games during development. Yubuki-san kept saying, well, that's how we did in the last game. Almost like a little catchphrase. I love how they think about super fans like me. Like, damn, I feel heard. Right? Like, Mario Kart is in a weird position because they have to cater for a lot of... the audience is massive. The audience is not only, like, casuals, like, family members who don't really game like that, but also has like the try-hard players and competitive players and like people who like, I guess like in that in-between casual, massive, you know what else is massive? Like people in between that where they're like not competitive, but they're good at playing the game and they want to express themselves. Features like wall ride and rail ride are going to be amazing, and even the super jump, like the jump tricks are going to be amazing, but it really depends on the stage layouts, if they can take advantage of it. And it does look like so far they will take advantage of it. My main critique of Splatoon 3 is like new mechanics like Squid Surge and Squid Roll. Great mechanics, but the stages were not made with those features in mind, especially Super Surge or like the wall surge, because barely any walls are fucking paintable in the game, right? So it does seem to me that so far the rail grinding and the wall running do take those stages into account, which is awesome. But that's a wait and see. That's a really good design detail so far. Like, I like that. Like, there's a lot of thought put into it. There's a lot of thought put into the mechanics and to level design, which is pretty fire. Ibuki. I do hope they don't forget about 200cc. I still think 200cc is in the game. They're probably just hiding it. Due to it being an interconnected world, like, Special Cup's still hidden, right? They're still hiding shit. I'm assuming 200cc is just hidden. Due to being an interconnected world, we had to remake all kinds of features, and we're often discussing whether features from the last game should stay the same or be changed. Yeah. Because, like, the basic flow of the game is rebuilt. Like, the flow is different now. So a lot of mechanics also need to be changed as well. Hidden too well, IMO. They're hiding Rainbow Road pretty damn well. I would be surprised if those builds were like had shit taken out of the game, not gonna lie. Because Special Cup is not in those demos. People fucking beat all those cups and Rainbow Road wasn't there. And we know. But they leaked it. 200cc has no trace. We don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's in the game. I hope it's in the game. If not, we can beg Nintendo to add it in an update or some shit. I don't know. Or maybe it's not even needed. We don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's not even needed. I don't know. It should be. 260 should still be in it, but I don't know. I think I already read that. Now, adding 260 in an update was why it was as an 8. True. Very true. This time we refreshed the tools to use to create the game. So everything, even the programming systems, had to be rebuilt from scratch. Yeah. The engine had been overhauled. But Yabuki-san insisted that not only the programs of the tools had to be remade from scratch, but they should be capable of producing the same level of quality seen in previous games. It's no easy task. Often ended up saying, I don't get the same feeling as before when I play it. Dude, the amount of work added, it probably is mind-numbing at a certain point, because you gotta rebuild the engine. Because I'm sure Nintendo's not using an off-the-shelf engine, they're using, for Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart World. It's probably a proprietary, they build themselves, which has its pros. The pros that you can add and remove shit as you need it, The problem is the dev time, man. The dev time, bro. It's gonna take a while. You know, like shit. Oh god, jump scare. Mario Kart jump scare, oh no. On the other hand, the direction of the visual design changed drastically for Mario Kart 8. Based on a concept of vehicles transforming to be hovercrafts, we opted for a futuristic and sophisticated design. Whereas in this game, since you're driving through all times and locations in the world, we wanted to convey the feeling of adventure. We also wanted to create a lively, bustling atmosphere, even in a vast world, and we're talking about how we wanted it to recapture the feeling from Super Mario Kart. It's a fucking reboot. The first in the title series. During those discussions, someone on the team mentioned the key phrase, playfulness. Yep. From there, we focus on creating a chaotic vibe where anything could happen, like the lively and bustling atmosphere where lots of characters are in a pack jostling for position. Oh wow, wait, is that like a beta? Oh my god, it's a beta artwork. Indeed, so Mario Kart gave the impression of drivers being crammed in a narrow course. Looking at it from that perspective, the game doesn't have rounded edges to its visual design like the original game. The characters in Mario series have a rounded look, so we wanted to give the vehicles a rounded design too, to match their appearance. We also wanted to give the characters a livelier look, even while they're in their vehicles. So we put everything together in a way that gives off a sense of playfulness through the combination of characters, rounded design, soft facial expressions, and rich movements. Way better art direction in World than in 8. I love the art direction. I love how Mario Kart 8 looks. Base 8, I love how it looks. But I also love Mario Kart World's playfulness, rich art style, like animations, bouncy, rounded everything. I love it. Everything's playful, everything is bouncy, everything has like physics going on. Sleek, futuristic, aerodynamic with edge. Tuned for the road. Meanwhile, playful, handcrafted touches, tightly curved frame, all terrain. Wow, that's like a beta, I guess, render. Mario doesn't look like that in the final game. That's cool. As you can see, it's kind of giving like the cell shaded vibe as Breath of the Wild. No, I'm probably going crazy, but it's giving like that flat cell shaded look. It's probably like this is probably that Switch 1 era design I keep hearing about for Mario Kart World. Asashi says the sound was also created based on the theme of playfulness. We reside the audio systems in the in-game space so that the sounds effects convey the vast world while maintaining the lively, bustling atmosphere that Mario Kart is known for. The background music features a harmonica, with a powerful tone that aligns with the idea of playfulness is featured in various tracks. Oh, we got music. Oh, we got music. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, yeah. The title screen. This team is so fire. Also, the title screen, you're just in the open world and you can just pop in. That's fire. Dude, I love the main theme so much. Let's replay that shit. It's so good. I love that song, man. I love it. The sounds also took a cool futuristic direction in previous games, but this time we increased the proportion of the live instruments for a more energetic sound in an attempt to match the brighter atmosphere of the world. Going back to lively, bustling atmosphere you mentioned earlier, this game lets up to 24 players race each other. That's a big increase over the last game. Was this number decided at a relatively early stage? Yes. Wow. And the previous game was up for 12 players. We decided fairly earlier on that the game would be up to 24 players. Wow. By creating long routes in a vast world, you can end up with players spread out in various places. Makes sense. Which could easily diminish the sense of that they have to race against each other. Yeah, it would be like, Yeah, you widen the tracks, but like, there's not that many players on the road, so it feels anticlimactic in a sense, right? So we figured that we figured that by increasing the number of racers, we sure to see some competitive action here and there. Maybe that's a bit simplistic. Yeah, there's a lot more action happening. It's all like relative. Sato says, at the time we were developing Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch 1. This was going to be the Mario Kart for the Switch. 8 Deluxe was not meant to be the Mario Kart for the Switch 1. It was just porting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, for like the launch to have like games. But I guess midway through, it was meant to be the Mario Kart for the Switch. And we were analyzing for a calm, collective programming perspective whether it could be possible to accommodate 24 players. And then game development, the first you finish making all the different elements and then optimize them to run the system. Yep. You make the game and then you optimize from there. Of course, you want to optimize as you're making the game, you know? You have the device in mind when you're making the game, so you don't go balls to the wall, max settings immediately, right? Like, you know what device you're developing for first, and then of course you gotta optimize it later, but yeah. But when trying to counter 24 players, we have to make all kinds of processing optimizations right from the start. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure you've already been making huge efforts to create 12-player races, but suddenly being told that you have to double that, if it were me, I'd be at a loss. But I was happy in terms of visual design because it will give off more of a lively, busting feeling. I feel like at 12 players, previously was a lot. But as Ibuki-san said, once players are spread out, the course starts to look sparse, and the visual will give us a sort of lonely feel. So I thought that 24 players would be better because there'd be a lot more interaction between various players. That said, it was quite challenging once you get going. The volume design work increased, but it was worth it. When we were developing for the Switch system, it was difficult for us to incorporate everything we wanted, so we were always conscious of what we were giving up for return. We discussed things like toning down the visuals, lowering the resolution, and even considered dropping the frame rate to 30 FPS in some cases. It was a tough situation. Yeah, there was no shot. Yep, this was a Switch 1 game. That confirms it. There was no shot this game was going to run on Switch 1. Breath of the Wild was able to be run at 30 FPS. Remember, Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom are 30 FPS games with very little character interaction for a good amount of time. I love Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, but those are very let's walk and chill type games, right? And when things go crazy, my favorite memory of Tears of the Kingdom was in the volcano dungeon. We gotta fight the fucking giant like lava golem shit in Tears of the Kingdom. That dungeon was running at like 20 FPS. Scarlet and Violet, we don't even talk about Scarlet and Violet. With the amount of constant character interaction, and like LOD loading ins, right? Level detail models loading ins, and like going from city to city at a high speed. This shit was not running on Switch 1. I won't be surprised if that decision to go for Switch 2 was made pretty, I guess, early to middle stage of development. I was like, sorry, that shit was not happening. What do you decide to give up in the end? Well, we couldn't give up on anything. We couldn't compromise on this shit. We're like, nah, we ain't sacrificing the game. Man, now that we have the Switch 2, dude, this about to go crazy. This shit about to go crazy. We worked on it while kicking the can down the road in terms. It's just how underpowered the Switch 1 is. It is, like, remember, the Switch 1 has an NVIDIA Shield tablet CPU from 2015. An NVIDIA Shield tablet. Like it's an Android tablet CPU. And don't get me wrong, that tablet CPU was pulling in the work. But that shit was underpowered, day one. We worked on it while keeping the can down the road in terms of deciding what to give up on. Like, you have to delay the game. You just gotta push the game off to the next system. At least I feel like the Switch 2 can be like... The Switch 2 in pretty much every first party game. Absolutely. Like the Switch 2 feels like the Switch perfected. The Switch 2, from like a GPU sense and a CPU sense, unlike the Switch 1, it feels like it's future-proofed. Like it's fine. It can handle Nintendo first-party games until like the next 7 years. Even third parties, they're gonna be fine. The Switch 2 feels future-proof. It's literally Switch 1, but everything we dreamed of. Literally. It has the horsepower. We don't have to worry about 30 FPS anymore. Unless the devs really fucked up the optimization, right? But this feels like the Switch we wanted, which is amazing. We decided on what to give up on. At some point, we knew it was going to get messy. So we decided to release the Booster Course Pass DLC. Doesn't Your Door Switch 2 edition? I don't think that game needs a Switch... Hot take, that game doesn't need a... I would love 60 FPS, but it doesn't need it. Like, it really doesn't need it. Like, 30 FPS works just fine. It has, like, the turn-based combat. Like, it doesn't need... I will love it. Like a patch. It sucks. I mean, I played through the entire game just fine, not needing it... Not thinking it needed 60 FPS. Like, there was no, like... frame drops, no, like, problems with the combat. Like, it'd be cool. But, like, will I cry if it didn't, like, happen? No. Like, it doesn't need it. Just wishful thinking. Fair. Because that we had to, like, delay the game, we decided to release Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass DLC for the Nintendo Switch family of systems. We thought we'd go some time. Literally, yeah. We thought we'd go some time to continue development. That's when the conversation with moving to Switch 2 came up, and then suddenly opened a bunch of possibilities we could do. It was a true ray of hope. Yeah, definitely, like, Booster Course Pass was absolutely just literally buy time. This was just to buy us some time, which I think everyone expected that, to be honest. That's what I got from Booster Course Pass. Mario Kart World not coming out for like another year or two. This is just a stopgap release since Mario Kart 8 is selling really well. Let's just add some content from Tour. It was just like the stopgap. Like, it's just DLC. It's like it's less mainline than Tour. It was just literally like, hey, we are not ready to release this. Give the players content. Give the players content. Like, hey, you know what? Valid. It and Tour are the same thing. To be fair, we got some Rainbow Road. You know, there's some good shit in Booster Course Pass, you know. I'd rather play Booster Course Pass any day of the week than Tour, not gonna lie. But, hey. That's pretty much it, right? Let me drink some water real quick. I feel like my throat's about to give out. But yeah, that was part 1. Let's see. Part 2. As the developer Mario Kart World. Welcome back, Jesse. A lasting impression. When did you decide to move development to Switch 2? Stato, Ibuki-san first brought up around 2020, pandemic era, yeah. Back then, we already had the idea of the next system's expected specs, you know? But it wasn't until a bit later we actually had received a working development units, yeah. I believe the chip, I could be wrong, but the finalized chip was made in 2021, or something like that. So even back then, even though they were still working on the Switch 2, right? Finalized hardware specs wasn't really a confirmed thing yet. I missed it. Did you see any pics or vids? I watched they had a video showing the main menu with like the music in the background, the main menu theme. But that was the only video so far. It looks fire. But until then, we just had to proceed with development based on provisional estimates. Yeah. Hardware specs still wasn't finalized at 2020. I think the chips and all that was like 2021 to 2022. So I see you had to use your imagination with developing the game, right? Okay, wait, 1 second, y'all. Alright, there you go. When we were developing for the Nintendo Switch, we were often worried of whether we could find the right balance between planning and performance. Of course, the Switch system's performance is sufficient for developing different types of games. They really don't want to bully it. It's okay, dubs, you can bully it. But if we had to include everything we wanted to do in the game's vast world, then it wouldn't have able to run at 60 FPS. And it would have suffered from constant frame drops, yeah. I think there are a lot of people on the team who were worried about whether we can really manage it. Yeah, you cannot have frame drops in a racing game, bud. You can't do that. But once we decided to release the game on Switch 2, we expected our worries to evaporate all at once. I remember being overjoyed when I discovered we could express even more than we originally set out to. Not gonna lie, since Mario Kart World was delayed to Switch 2, right? And the Switch, like, this was like 2020's era, right? This brings, like we know the Switch 2 was delayed internally. Of course, they'll never say it publicly, right? But the Switch 2 was absolutely delayed. This puts into perspective Scarlet and Violet. I think Scarlet and Violet was meant to be a Switch 2 game. Like, straight up. But Game Freak and their, like, uptight ass fucking release schedules, right? I think it was meant to be a Switch 2 game. Not Switch 2 game. Like, there was... Because remember back in the day, there was, like, rumors for, like, a Switch Pro, right? And now people were saying the Switch Pro was actually the Switch 2 all along. I still think the Switch Pro was just the OLED. Right? Maybe it got canceled in the pandemic and all that, right? But, like... I'm starting to think maybe Scarlet and Violet, like, the Switch 2 being released early wouldn't have saved it, right? But, like, it makes a bit more sense for me, personally. It was meant for 2024. That game was never gonna, bro. That game was... Game Freak in the production schedules, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. They really set themselves up for failure with Scarlet and Violet. Like, there's no other way around it. But maybe they were trying to bank on the next system releasing on the same year. We normalize delays. Right? Thank God Legend ZA got delayed. Because remember, Legend ZA was supposed to come out last year. Legend ZA was supposed to come out November of last year. And then it got eternally delayed because all the shit Scarlet and Violet got. So... Well, shit. It does put other games, at least in perspective. Like, damn, if Switch was supposed to come out, like, 2022 or 2023, how different things would be. A delayed game is temporarily disappointing, but a rushed game is disappointing forever. Something like that, Miyamoto, probably. Right? Something like that. With the move to the Nintendo Switch 2, were you able to implement things you couldn't previously? On the other hand, didn't you mean you needed to do a lot more than before? Chicken jockey! Boss? Oh, hell no. Ishikawa says that's right. Of course, the graphics need to be more detailed, but like Sato-san, I also felt like it was outweighed by the sense of relief. From the beginning, the designers were saying that they wanted to make the art richer, so I thought we could achieve that now. For example, team members who were creating the terrain and the scenery were really happy because they can now place more trees, were a key to giving the world a more natural look. Oh yeah. Boss. Yeah. It's like, again, with like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, right? Gorgeous worlds, but like they're very empty. And that's because like hardware limitation and all that shit, right? Like, with like rendered bits and all that. Yeah, like, yeah, call all that out to reserve performance. Like, now you have a lot more headroom to play with to make things look really nice. I am so excited for Xenoblade 4. Dude, Monolith is gonna fucking cook. Remember, this is still awful, Mario Kart World. The sacrifice for optimization, though. Yeah. The sacrifice for optimization. Let's just hope it's not that noticeable when you're playing through the game, though. Cause I remember, dude, Sonic Frontiers render distance was so fun. Dude, Sonic Frontiers, like, that game is like an epileptic trip on Switch. Like, that game feels like that game shouldn't even run. It's so bad with the poppin'. Like it pops in like 10 meters from you. Like what the hell? The game looks hilarious on Switch. Indeed, having trees around makes the surroundings feel more realistic. By the way, the courses in the game are spread across different parts of the world. How do you determine their placement and their design?
Chicken jockey!
Scenery. Colors Ultimate Incident? Bro, I didn't even talk about that. There is a Colors Ultimate Incident, true. But like Frontier is like a whole other level. It wasn't like unplayable. You could beat the game just fine. But like it looks like dog shit. Like it looks bad. Ishikawa, Jikumaru-san drew up. Wait 1 second. Let me scroll through that. Drew a rough map for us to start discussing where to place them. We first placed the existing courses on the world based on directions of a compass and created a setting for them. For example, the climate gets drier as you go west, so we thought we could place the Shy Guy Bazaar course through the previous games within a palace in this area. Or perhaps the Desert Hills course nearby. And going northeast, we thought we could make it the region colder with a steep snowy mountain as a landmark and have a course where you could race at its peak. When designing courses based on climate, we'll try to be creative so that routes that connect courses and are seamless and that the scenery around you changes before you know it. Yeah, that's cool. Each individual course has its own distinct characteristics, so connecting them was all pretty tricky. We have to place existing courses that fits in a way that the content of the world without losing what makes them special. I recall the team lead for the terrain telling us that we need to keep context in mind. Each course was built around a unique and distinct concept, so if the landscape between the courses was barren, then it will feel like the world was just divided into chunks. That's why it's important to establish a context that connects them in a way that feels natural while making use of contrast to create surprises. For example, we thought it would be good if in Mario Bros. Circuit, you could keep driving down a wide road like Route 66. The scenery will gradually thin out, while up ahead you can see a landmark that resembles Monument Valley, and the road ultimately connects to a big city. Sonic should only be a PS5 Xbox exclusive game. I feel like Sonic fits on Switch. The problem is that Switch 1 was so like not power efficient at all. The Switch is just weak as heck. Oh, we got a video. Speaking of Sonic. Oh, wait! Oh my god, Mario Bros. 3. Oh my god, bros. This is such a vibe. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. This song is such a vibe. Bro. So yeah, deserty all, you know, they can go on a road, you go on the highway, right? Da-da-da-da-da. Then get some monuments, get some landmarks. You got the scenery changing. Just a couple trees start popping, the grass starts popping in, you know, right? And then boom, you're in the city. Imagine you hop on our carts and, you know, it'd be GTA straight up. One of the most made me cry, won't spoil. Shit, bro. Shit, bro. This is probably amazing. We wanted to make we want the players to experience being in the next era before they knew it. So we had to work out where to put impactful changes in scenery like landmarks so we can realize they're still making it seamless. It's very late though, final part. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Alright. I see. Part. What? I see. That's the challenge of putting existing courses into the new world, right? Incidentally, how did you go about crafting background music to raise the excitement further? First, we created music for the courses like we always done before, and then thought about what to do with the roads outside the courses. We decided to have two different kinds of music depending on how you're playing. For Knockout Tour mode, we started off by simply trying to connect the course themes. Oh. But that approach didn't work well. It ended up sounding weird because the tracks had different tempos and beats. Yeah. And there's so many races that it keeps cutting in, cutting out like pretty quickly, right? So we decided to find a way to end each of the course themes. Even though they're connected by route, Video game music often plays in loop, and in this game too. The same music keeps playing if you're driving laps around a course. But for Knockout Tour, as you get closer to the next course, the music transitions to the outro, so the theme ends nicely. We also created a new intro for each course theme, which starts to play shortly after you reach the gate, building excitement. Then as soon as you actually press through the gate, it changes to the theme of the course you entered. That explains Knockout, yeah, that explains the music, okay. By repeating this, it feels like a melody is playing through live, creating a sense of immersion. Wow, yeah, just break it up to pieces, right? Crazy. The outros are peak, I heard them. Fucking hell. I'm gonna snooze them. We're snoozing the ads. I don't know how long it's snoozed though. So what do you do for the music modes for like free roam, where the route isn't fixed? For other modes like free roam, we prepared lots of music in addition to course themes, and made it so that the game will automatically select the right track depending on the situation. During development, we call this Jukebox. Oh yeah. For this, we created lots of arrangements music composed from the past Super Mario and Mario Kart games. Was that right? Was that right? The Jukebox feature was just randomly added in Mario Kart Deluxe just way later on. Like, hey, let's put this back. Let's backport this. You're not only rearranging the music, but also revamping the mechanism for how music is selected and played, right? You say you created lots of musical tracks, but how many pieces do you end up with? Peak feature? All together, over 200 songs for Jukebox. These are all brand new arrangements. Also, we did live recordings. We prepared these pieces from quite a wide variety of musical genres. I believe them who are well versed in the video game music, as well who aren't, will enjoy listening to them. Oh, they said, y'all who are video game music Andes, yeah, we got ya. We got ya. Don't worry, we hear you, we see you. We're cooking something up special for ya. Holy shit. In this game, not only are the courses interconnected in a simple world, but the weather and time of day changes, right? Oh wow. Holy shit. Exactly. Whenever designers get the chance to create such a vast world, they tend to become bold, adventurous. But, bold and adventurous, fully aware that means higher volume of content that they need to work on. What if we need to make the scenery in this interconnected world change with the time of day? What if we could create a world that looks as people actually live there? We thought it would be so nice and make the game full of emotion that led to the creation of sketches like these. Mobile lag? Unfortunate. Oh, we got concept art. Hold up. That looks nice. I like the concept art. That's cute. Oh, I love the sunset one with the clouds. W concept art. But we spent a long time discussing within the team whether we could really implement time and weather changes. Right. The sheer volume of work required to prepare all the art needed to showtime and weather changes in a seamless world. No illusion. We were even on the verge of giving up on it at one point. But the appealing of having time and weather changes won out. So we decided to try out and find a way to implement the feature that we initially considered giving up. Also, in terms of course design, if the time of day and weather are fixed, then it's easier to create the clearest path under those conditions. But even with the changes in brightness or on the angle of the light, we had to check on multiple variations just to adjust them accordingly. Yeah. In that sense, everyone was happy that they could achieve more things, but I'm also sure that also ran out a lot of difficulties when it came to actually making it. Yeah, because like, shit, like, you gotta like take into account like visibilities and be an important factor. Maybe you see a shortcut that you really can't see if it's like nighttime and raining, right? Like, a lot of things gotta be like considered to make sure the lighting is just right, depending on the time of day and weather, right? Yep, it was even worse than we imagined. But the graphics programmers were also determined to create something good and worked ambitiously to make it happen, rallying support from various people. You gotta put the lights around the shits. Yeah. And then yeah, work with like, whether you want to do real-time lighting, or you want to do baked lighting, or if you want to do baked lighting but make it dynamic, do you want to have like moving textures depending on like moving light maps depending if you want to have it on weather, like, you know, weather on, weather off. Like, there's a lot of things. There's a lot, like a lot of trial and error. No way this is real time. No, like I feel like it's like I feel like it's baked lighting, but the baked lighting moves. Like it's several images of baked lighting that gets swapped out depending on the dynamics that are currently happening. I think it's baked lighting with one real-time light for like shadows, but I think it's, for the environment at least, it's several layers of baked lighting being swapped at any given moment. I think that's just my theory. Of course, when people get their hands on the game, we'll find out. The programmers were also worried about how they're going to work together and handle this volume of content. We knew what we wanted to do, but the big challenge was working out how we could actually complete it. That said, we thought it might be possible if we could change a development approach that reduces the workload. Yeah. There's probably some real... Yeah, I think it's like, for shadows, like, of course there's going to be one real-time light for like shadows of the cards and all that. And maybe the directional light is moving with the sunlight. Maybe, actually, I don't even know. Probably not. It's probably like another illusion with baked lighting, not gonna lie. I don't know. We shall see. I don't know. I see. So you altered your program workflow to overcome the unprecedented volume of content. Yeah, your workflow has to change with this type of game style. You really sense the flow of time when you're driving around the steering and let it change naturally. Man, baked lighting actually done well. Dude, baked lighting is the based. Dude, baked lighting is based. I love baked lighting. Unreal devs, they hate baked light. Baked lighting is clean. I love baked lighting. It looks so nice when you do it well, properly. Of course, you can have really shitty baked lighting. It's all depending on technique. But real time can look well. It's just that it can look really good as well. It's just how you approach it, right? And it's more and more costly in performance, right? But hey, it can look good. You can use light probes, right? To have that in between. Probably light probes. Now I'm thinking about it. Let's see what they're using. We designed it so that a day in the game passes in around 24 minutes. You can easily get a sense of how time passes in the game. Oh fuck, it is real time. The sunlight does move in real time. Oh shit. Since it happens to be faster than real life, but time doesn't really progress evenly, does it? At first, we made the color of the sky gradually change over time, but in many cases, we consider the time and scenery together. Oh god, ads. I'm gonna take a water. Let's do. We're gonna do a quick break. Mii's? Mii's in Mario Kart World? Crazy. Alright, let's see. We designed it so that the game passes around 24 minutes. You can easily get a sense of how time passes. At first, we made the color of the sky gradually change color over time. But in any case, we consider the time and scenery together. For example, we want players to be able to experience the desert at night. In this case, when there's a particular scene that we really want players to see, we didn't think such a feature would work. As players might drive to that location at the rather bland time between evening and night. So I discussed this issue with our programmers. We decided to focus on the most appealing times of day and drastically shorten the transition between day and night. Okay, so it's not a linear scale. Yeah, I don't think Mii's are in the game, right? I haven't seen a Mii in Mario Kart World yet. Maybe they're hiding that as well? They're not? Damn. But you can still make a Mii in Switch 2 though, which is interesting. Damn. That's crazy. Damn, big rip. They're fading out. Makes sense. They haven't really done much with Mii's in like base Nintendo for a while. It's mostly just been a Tomodachi life thing that like they're kind of doing their own thing with the Mii's, and then they got the Switch Sports, which are not even Mii's. They're kind of like their own shits. Damn. Rip. Big rip. Rather than having the time of day change in accordance to the real world, we prioritize working well with the gameplay. Besides that, in terms of weather changes, sometimes it will rain or snow, or there'll be a flash from the lightning power followed by a sudden change in the weather. For these kind of things to work, we were thinking about how we can make a lasting impression on our players and what kind of effects would be fun as they drive around. For the background music, we took songs from various previous Mario games and arranged them into fun driving tunes. We were thinking we'll have an extra layer of enjoyment for our players. Rip Mii's 1986 to 200 DC. You hate to see it. The jukebox feature, while you're racing towards Bowser's castle while listening Racing towards, I guess it's an example, right? The jukebox feature will have you racing towards Bowser's Castle, or listening to Bowser's Road from Mario 64, or going for a nighttime spin while soaking in the Rainbow Road theme from Super Mario Kart. Crazy. During the daytime, various bright and cheerful tracks will play. In the evening and night, the arrangements could be more chilled. We got a brand arrangement for the staff credits from the Mario Kart DS in a style that fits in the new game, and I personally was really moved when I listening to it driving around in the game's evening scenes. You can enjoy it even while knowing the original tracks, but I think someone with fond memories of playing various Super Mario games would feel a wave of nostalgia while listening to these tunes while they drive around. We generally cannot expect Snaps Rainbow Road. Yeah, no, Snaps Rainbow Road, it's like iconic for them. I hate it, but it's iconic for them. It's like the obligatory, you gotta bring it back. It's the original. It's the obligatory. You gotta bring it back. Yeah. Never count out Snaps Rainbow Road showing up in this game as DLC though. I feel like it might happen. So you have to get creative in order to put these in together and interconnect the world. And on the other hand, I'm sure you have to include lots of new gameplay elements in this game. Can you show us how I'm making those? Mario Kart is a series of racing games that has placed a lot of emphasis on drifting over the years. So the courses were designed a lot of bends, but in this game, since you're driving around and connecting the world, we need to make it fun to drive not only around corners, but also on the straight line. Mario Road is crazy though. Aside because the remix potential is insane. There's a lot of music. There's gonna be a lot of music. So the jukebox is like, it'll play dynamically depending on where you're going, which is interesting. It'll play like a pool of songs depending on where you're going. For example, going from point A to B, we try to place a lot of bends on like the way we always do, but not too many bends because you lose sight of your destination. Then your goal is traveling from A to B becomes more difficult. That said, driving for ages down a straight road isn't much fun either. So we figure, well, we're lacking some kind of gameplay mechanic for straight roads, and that's where the idea for some game's new elements such as rail ride and wall ride come from. The development team collectively referred to these new features as tricks. Yeah. The Galaxy one was pretty decent, but they definitely could from remix in modern day. Dude, yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm assuming there's gonna be remixes. I'm assuming there might be multiple remixes of the same song, depending on time of day as well. Of doing the straight line allegations. Yeah, because there's like new mechanics you can do. Yeah, dude, this is gonna be fucking good. Yeah, day and night. Dude, this fucking soundtrack. This soundtrack. They gotta put this shit on Nintendo Music Day 1, I fear. It's not gonna happen, but they gotta do it. Dude, fucking hell. This is about to go crazy. It's about to go crazy. If everywhere was just roads, it's gonna feel the same no matter where you drive. It's such a vast world. The music doesn't deserve it. CD release? Oh, that's absolutely gonna happen, yeah. We thought it'd be a shame if you just drive in a straight line the whole time. Then we found a hint in the book that says skateboards, infinite possibilities in a city with just a single piece of wood. Tricks can open up multitude of driving possibilities in a single wall or dirt track. We thought it'd be fun to be able to drive in completely different ways just based on players' imagination, so we made a gameplay more varied. For tricks like rail ride and wall ride, if we reference extreme sports like skateboarding, snowboarding, and BMX, yeah. That's like, that little hop trick is gonna be so cool too. I think these tricks, actually the hop trick kind of does feel like skateboarding in a way. Cause yeah, hold in and jump. Yeah. It does kind of give that feel, not gonna lie. I think these tricks will give players a chance to use their imagination as they come up with ideas. That I'm gonna drive up the wall and use a pillar, kind of ride that guardrail, or wait, whoa, hey, yo. Can I ride that guardrail or power line? Crazy. Yeah, charge jump. Found out charge jump has boost tiers. Makes sense, yeah, because it's essentially replacing your drifting button, right? Yeah. Blue, orange, and rainbow. Yeah. That's crazy. What the hell? I guess the higher boost, the higher jump height, and maybe perma boost you get when you like do a trick. Maybe it's like a multiplier on how fast you go when you do a trick and land. We shall see. I see, but if you give players more moves, then you also need to design courses that account for them, right? How many courses are in this game? Not high, but it does increase the boost. Okay, makes sense. In this game, so you don't just race on the courses. The areas between courses are also used for racing. So it's as if the courses are spread out over the open world, and if you add them up, possible variations, it could easily exceed 100. Oh, so yes, Brick Tark is playing in the background. W. If you add up all the variants, the amount of courses in the game would easily exceed 100. Not even deluxe is 100. That's what I was saying. The variance in between the tracks makes like the intermissions are full courses. They are. Jeez, man, this game is crazy, y'all. I'm so excited for World. I am so excited. Hey, on Ibuki-san, did you say earlier that it wasn't about increasing the amount of content? Since it's now a single interconnected world, it's hard to do a direct comparison with the last game. But in the pursuit of approachability and fun in this new vast world, the volume of content we have to create in terms of visual design, programming, and audio increased dramatically. And the result, the gameplay is more varied than ever before. Dude, this game is gonna be so fucking good! Part 3, an interconnected world. You mentioned that the amount of content ended up increasing. You also drew a lot of concept art for the game. Oh, concept art! Oh, concept art! Concept art! Concept art! The designers came up with various ideas, thinking about the theme of a vast world. They could show things other than racing. There were sketches of characters, scenery, costumes that matched the various landscapes, characters eating. We had a vast interconnected world in mind, so a good deal of the concept art depicted scenes of people living of people's lives there. We designed the costumes and vehicles of set, created those poster-style designs. Oh boy, bro. Oh, that's so cool. Total Engine with the castle in the background, got the Mario in his car, towing some shits, you know. On the top, you know. Peach and this guy look cute, you know. We got a little Kitsu flying around. I think that's a Bitty Bug. No, actually, not a Bitty Bug. Who is that? Someone flying around. Got Wario, Luigi, Bowser, Koopa Troopa. You see you see the castle landmark in the background, you know. Got the homie Yosh, you know. You do understand, you know. Everything's a set. Exactly, like. There's always landmarks you're seeing. Oh my god, that's so cute. Yeah, like Peach and Daisy, you know. Peach just eating ice cream, Daisy eating ice cream, you know. Again, the castle, you know. Different regions, different environments, different lighting, different color works. This is so cute. I love this. This can be a wallpaper. This is gonna release an HD version, please. Oh, that is raw. That's just raw. Oh my god, that's adorable and raw at the same time. Please, Nintendo, release an HD version of this. That is so cute. It's the girls! Why is she staring at me deviously? That's terrifying. Yo, it's the girls hanging out. Where the Bowser and Teeth at? This is probably like before his redesign, not gonna lie. This is adorable as well. Bro, Toad fumbling the bag, you can see it. That's such a cute. I love this. This is a nice one. The different bikes with the color schemes, depending on what character is using it, I assume. They all have different names, I want to say here. Yeah, the kanji are all different. So it's probably like Rosalina, white and gold. The run's probably Pauline. This is more red. Gold mark, maybe. Hey, you never know. Maybe. I was thinking maybe this is Rosalina, maybe? And then blue one, I don't know. Probably just different color styles they were contemplating. I don't know what the words say, and it's way too low quality to really pinpoint it out. Yo, it's Mario with his like Odyssey shorts fit, you know? On the beach, you see Koopa Beach in the background. The Koopa, they got that. Nipple any % run. You got like this orange plane, you know. Dragon, thanks for the follow. W follow. This looks so cool. Oh my god, that's spot. Who the fuck are you? Oh no, yeah, it's Koopa Beach. Am I high? Who is this? That was like Inkling for a second. Who the fuck are you? That's me? Is this actually a... Wait, is this like a me character? Okay, obviously it's Mario. Why is Mario checking out the car? Rosalina? Maybe Peach? But it's like orange hair though.
Chicken jockey!
Yeah, you got Peach in the background with like... Yo, the homie Yosh is posing it up though. he's like a businessman. He's like, yeah, I'm on a post. I'm on the digital sign. You know that every item has a sponsorship with a blue shell? That's hilarious. Yo, we got Speed Racer, not copyrighted. You got Red Shell, Strike Equipment, All Stars Live to Race, Life Leaf, yo. Yoshi mentioned my goat. Yeah, who's that? It might be just concept art of a random character, I guess. That's cool. Is it Daisy? No, that's not Daisy's head shape though. I have no idea who that is. Not gonna lie. Oh, you know it's Mario Kart. Oh, you have to design. Yeah, everyone's kind of going through like a slight redesign. Mario Luigi obviously look kind of look the same on the Switch menu, but like the renders are just updated. Also, Fall, how you doing? You know, with Mario Kart, there are some that show the characters eating food instead of driving the cart. The idea of showing characters eating varied foods came up early in development. If you're traveling through vast and diverse worlds, you can't leave out the local foods that's unique to each place. But actually, did we consider removing the food feature at one point? Incorporating into the game means not only adding the food itself, but also the stores that sell it and staff that work there. It'll be even more content. Now, the funny thing is that the modern Yoshi's era, Yoshi design, was mid-Switch era. Yeah, my Mario Super Star. Yeah. Like, definitely this game was, like, the Switch era was definitely elongated because the Switch 2 just wasn't ready yet. It's just funny that a lot of like the redesigns and like early signs of redesigns happen were like mid to late era of the Switch cycle. In the first game, it was available 64. All the tracks as an item box will always give you a boost. Bro, that is a scary mechanic. Thank God I didn't return. There's always one item box. Oh God, that's terrifying. What the hell? We came back to this idea later. Yes, while developing was still going on, about 2 years after this idea came up, I thought to myself, you know what? I need food. And to let it go, I asked the developers to implement, the programmers to implement a hamburger model I created and make it so that the characters could eat it. It was well received within the team, and designers started to churn out all different kinds of foods. Before we knew it, the number of variations had exploded. The designer in charge was really pumped up about creating them. We incorporated lots of Mario-inspired twists and tidbits to create a wide variety of designs. I also had a lot of fun looking at those designs. Bro, low-key want guaranteed item boxes. I played Cars 3 Driven to Win at some tricky spots, good risk and reward system. True. I just don't trust that with online. It would be a terrible time with like guaranteed item boxes in some places, not gonna lie. For single player, might be fire. Multiplayer online, I don't know. It can get ugly real quick. I like this. That's cool. We got a bitty buggy like meatloaf, like decoration going on. You got the fucking crab died. Look at that shit. The sidestepper crab. It's fucking dead. Look at the bottom right. What the hell? This fucker's dead. There's also Para Bitty Buggy. Damn. I got the name wrong, my bad. I like the pokey thing got going on here. The top. Oh, that's cool. That's a lot of peppers though. Goddamn. Yeah, these food items are pretty peak. Yoshi egg? Oh my god. My brain has been permanently rewired. Every time I see Bitty Buddy, I think of the Bitty Buggy from Mario Kart 8. I believe there's a track where you with a giant pipe in the beginning of the game. I forgot what track that is. Is it the Luigi one? No, it's not the Luigi one. Not Luigi Circuit, what? Yeah. Yeah, okay, I was right. It was Luigi Circuit. Never mind. I was right. Also, this guy's just dead. Yeah, my brain's been permanently rewired. I'm down for... What the fuck? Was that a bat? I don't like these Jersey patch notes. I just saw a fucking bat outside my window. What the fuck? Okay. Crazy. No, I just straight up just saw a bat. Like straight up bat. Yeah. What the hell? Just flew across my window. That's your stream's been running in my background the whole time. He's been playing games. Understandable. W lurking, you know? Like a bat or based on like animal bats flying around. The animal. W lurkers, indeed. Yeah, I'm like, that was the first time I ever saw a bat. What the hell? They don't live here. Oh, I did see 2 eagles yesterday. That was kind of cool. Who got mad? We just named him, right? Oh wait, I see it. It's a bit more further away on a tree. That boy is confused. Bro is confused where the fuck he's at. Okay. Food is sold at Yoshi's fictional drive-thru restaurants located all over the game's world. Yoshi and his friends make food inspired by each area. So Yoshi's a chain of drive-thrus that expanded across the world. The Yoshi's expanding. You know, the Yoshi's, they're businessmen. Insane. For example, Yoshi's drive-thru is located in a volcanic region that looks like a volcano that sells piping hot soup inspired by Bowser. W. As we're making various content, Ibuki-san comes marching up and he says, when Mario eats something, he transforms. He will transform. He sounded pretty serious about it. Originally, we were creating various outfits sold from the food, so we wonder if we combine those 2 elements. Oh, that's how the transformation thing came up from. There are 2 completely separate elements. We discussed the idea of using coins to buy clothes from the stores, but that would have meant stopping at the stores at the shop, which would have been disruptive to the flow, given that this is a world you keep driving. That's when the idea of food came up. What we thought, why don't we have a drive-thru system where characters eat while driving, and eating makes them change outfits or transfer into different characters? Though, it was utterly ridiculous. Sounds about right though. But in the world of Mario, but it doesn't sound so strange. Yeah, been playing Poke Rogue. I've played that like twice. I gotta play that again. Not gonna lie. I had a fun time playing it initially. Ibuki. Then the question came up: does Mario in fact eat mushrooms? The biggest question of them all: does Mario eat mushrooms? So in the midst of development, we went to Suzuki-san to ask him to confirm: is Mario actually eating those mushrooms? That's right. Suzuki-san answers, yeah, he is. We got the lore checkers in here. W lore checkers in the Mario team. We love to see it. W. He eats mushrooms. Plus, the idea of eating food in a particular region and changing into an outfit associated with the region fits the game perfectly. As you're racing, it's a real delight to see players changing one by one as local outfits for the area. He transforms with food already. Exactly. Like, it already lines up with the game. I got a banger watch it later video for you. Bet. Oh my god. Not all characters have outfits that change by eating food, but some have variety that you can pick up while driving around eating. So we hope that'll be a good incentive for players to try out different characters. Now you mentioned it, there are some new characters in the game that seem unlucky picks. I was surprised to see Cal. It's a Moo is one of the playable characters. That's right, in previous games in the series, Cal was a part of the scenery or an obstacle of one of the courses, but when we were working on an early version of the course in the game set in the ranch, the players can drive through. This is a sketch he came up with. The erasure is insane, by the way, right? Bro, this is a peak drawing though. Oh, I thought Cal was just on the back of the truck, but she's actually driving it. Oh my god. And each Mario Kart game features new characters to race with. Since we added so many in the previous game, we wonder if we can go from there. And then one of the designers came with this silly sketch of Cal cruising along, and I thought to myself, that's it. So, oh, that's a Robin. Oh, it's on my window now. That's cute. So that's when we realized the course surroundings actually contain a lot of untapped resources. Little burb. So, Teen Titans, so true. Wow, fucking one-shot me. So a designer, like a dev, just really made a sketch, and then like, they're like, yes, it all makes sense now. I love that. Oh my god, I love that. Fucking the Moo erasure is crazy though. Yeah, dude, this is. I love this concept art. It's so funny looking. It's just the 3D model of the Moo just placed around and drawn over. I love it. The character designer quickly put a prototype of cow that could race, and it doesn't flow as nice. Just the cow. Surprisingly, it didn't feel so out of place at all. So we thought maybe we could include other obstacles and obstacle characters, and decided to add cheap, and pokey as racers. As a result, the idea of taking obstacle characters, usually found in courses in past games and participating in races, made sense to me in terms of an interconnected world. So we call these types of characters NPC drivers. In other words, non-playable character drivers. Bro? I wish it was a Moo farm. The people didn't like this somehow, bro. Cow. Anyway, so it was like, they're NPCs, but they're playable. Which is it? It was pretty funny to see a four-legged cow holding onto motorcycle handlebars with her hooves. Her front hooves. What the hell? But when she jumps, she strikes a proper quadruple pose. So I'm pretty sure cow is still in touch with her animal nature, bro. It was thanks to her introduction, various NPC drivers that they had the idea to have Kamek appear as an item was born. Damn. Moo was added, and then that was enough to kick out Kamek. Damn. When Kamek casts a spell, they're just mad at the scrimbly Funky Kong isn't playable and call it character roster bad. NPC drivers are peak. I love the NPC characters as racers. Crazy. Racers are transferred to playable NPC. Oh, that's the gimmick of Kamek. You transform to NPC characters. Oh, that's the gimmick of Kamek. So one by one, they might turn to cow midway. Oh, so it's not like they go all transfer to Mario. No. You're gonna be like Sidestepper, or the Moo Moo, or the football quarterback guy. I forgot his name, but that one. I think it turned to a unique item that has never seen before. In fact, Cow is a character who inspired a lot of different ideas in Curry, including obstacle characters like Camel and Giraffe. Charge and Chuck. Yeah, Charge and Chuck. I forgot, sorry. On the other hand, when previously non-playable characters like Cow became playable, it means giving them new ways to express emotions, which must have been difficult for the voice lead. Oh my god, the voice actors. Also spotted something in the box art. Ooh, please show. Conscious of depicting personalities and characteristics of NPC drivers in a way that doesn't look as inferior to classical characters like Mario. The voice team members went through a lot of trial and error to pursue the ideal sound. In addition to more characters, this game also has a lot of wider selection of vehicles to drive. For characters to drive, so it was a huge task creating engine sounds that match the characteristics such as appearance and structure for each vehicle. We tried a lot of different sounds in search of something ideal. We used croaking frogs and beating drums. That's crazy. There's a lot of vehicles in the game too. Since the game is about racing around the world, we included not only race cars but also aerial vehicles. It must have been tough for the key designers, not only to design the whole body of the vehicle, but also consider how the tires will transform when drifting and how the vehicle sound when jumping. I see, because players are driving in a vast interconnected world, you design vehicles that handle a variety of driving styles and circumstances. That's right. Even the standard vehicle has a higher ride height in this game, and suspension movement has been added so when you drive it, the tires move in accordance to unevenness of surface. Yeah, we got the double dash physics, 4-wheel physics back. Hold up, that double dash like physics system, I feel like it's back. Not like no 1-to-1, obviously, right? Oh wow. Oh yeah, the circuit. I love how the wheels expand when you go on the rough terrain though. That's cool. That's so cool, man. Love the all-terrain gimmick. Dude, this is so clean. Since players are driving in a vast world, we want them to enjoy racing, not only on asphalt, like on the racetrack, but also on rough off-road surfaces. Those made thanks to the programmer's careful attention to vehicle movement. We also wanted to make it be fun and choose a vehicle based on the world's different location situations. So we try to make the lineup as varied and distinct as possible. I just prefer an order of arcade design. Like, I like rugged and rough valley cars. Fair, dude. I like that the cars themselves have personality. Like the bouncy animations, the tires inflating when you're on a rough terrain. The vehicles now have personality. The playfulness, exactly. Like, look at this. Like, this is fire. This is a design. In the previous game, Mario Kart Deluxe, you drove underwater, but this is a game you could drive on water. Yeah, it looks like underwater is just gone. Which, honestly, I don't really care one way or the other. Wave Race Switch 2, of course. I'll look plant in the background. Monty Mole. You got Bowser. You got Blue Yosh, you know. You got Koopa Beach. Since you drive on water, you put a lot of effort into wave graphics too. Not just how they look up for our up and coming programmers also implement simulations. Yeah, there's definitely like physics and simulations going on, such as ripples spreading when something drops on the water or the waves appearing after a vehicle passes through. They made it possible to create waves on demand. Yeah, the blue shell. When a blue shell strikes the water, the explosion creates actual like ripple effects, which is fire. This game has enemy characters create waves when they attack. So we were able to incorporate players jumping on those waves into gameplay. There's an enemy that creates waves? Oh nah, Wave Breaker? Hold up. Race on water is something this game has in common with Wave Race 64. W. I just worry about retro compatibility. Yeah, I won't be surprised if like a lot of those like underwater races just won't be happening. Or it'll be like reworked to something else. Or just I probably just won't be showing up in this game. Like how anti-grav is gone? Yeah. Yeah. When it came to jumping action, you oh wait, one second, y'all. That's right, when it came to jumping action, Jimuku-san, you were very particular about the white caps on the waves, right? Yeah, the caustics, I don't know what they're called. As you notice that if you want an exhilarating jump on a wave, you need to be able to see the crest of the wave. Yeah, you gotta make sure you can see where it ends, pretty much. But regular wave visuals, it's hard to tell where the crest of the wave is, and that's why I asked for the white foam or white caps to be added to the crest. I was like, I don't see any white caps on the waves, and then the programmers would say, how about now? And be like, I still can't see it. Just a little more. We went back and forth for a while before the job was done. Probably like a lot of edge detection, pretty much, for like the shader, not gonna lie. Programmers worked really hard, and thanks to that, I think jumping on waves turned out to be a real nice gameplay element. This game was intended to be a gameplay mechanic more like a track design compatibility. I guess. There was some mechanical play, but it was only just spinning and that's it, and like some parameter shifting when you're drifting. That, yeah. At least like, is that like a 4-part like underwater? Because underwater was like, I guess it was kind of similar to anti-grav. You just shift your parameters, but like also, I don't know. Underwater and anti-grav are kind of like hand in hand, where it impacts course design, but also doesn't really. It also kind of messes with like the controls a bit. I don't know. It's kind of both hand in hand. Both anti-grav and underwater have elements. I want to show that, wait. Yes, but, oh wait. Where was I? Was this also part of your commitment to user-friendliness? Yes, but while we continue to work on this, the designers started to request different ways to express water. And that's just by gameplay perspective, but also in terms of visual portrayal of beaches and shoals. I want to show the shoal floor through the crystal clear water. At first we were worried about that it will show the shoal floor because it would be demanding on power. But our program has made improvements here and there, and we were able to make it happen. Oh, so it is clear in such segments. Okay. Even with the familiar Kurochuba Beach, of course. We were able to create visuals we want to show. Thank you for that, Sato-san. Because we were particular about this, the designers needed to pull away to make sure the shoal floor was visible. But thanks to their efforts, we improved the quality of the graphics. The anti-grav track is played vastly different from the normal track. Yeah. There's like some anti-gravs. It may not seem different from casual perspective, but it generally affects gameplay. Yeah, because like the parameters of the movement is just completely different. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the parameters, like the looser traction, the spinning, when you crash into somebody, that's gone in this game. Like it's like that. The course design is still there, but the mechanical aspect is gone. And kind of like with the water tracks, like the water, going underwater is gone, so is like Actually, no. Underwater is worse because like it removes the course design and the mechanical design. Like yeah, like what you're saying, or should. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm about to play World, see how I feel about it, but I'm not too heartbroken over it. Underwater being gone is definitely more important than anti-grav IMO, but we'll see how it plays out. Unlike driving on land, when driving on water, the vehicle bobs up and down with the movement of water. The sound is designed to correspond to vehicle movement and orientation. It was created with greater attention to detail, even the most delicate sounds, so please listen for them when driving on the water. Let's get started. A new generation of Mario Kart. We talked earlier about approachability. The Mario Kart series has always been enjoyed by those who are less familiar with video games. Is there anything you pay attention to detail in terms of making this game approachable? This extends beyond those who aren't very familiar with video games, but we're making a conscious effort to create courses that are comfortable and satisfying to play. We sprinkled the terrain with what our team has been calling landmarks, such as mushroom-shaped mountains. These are designed to be easily recognizable and intriguing, so players' eyes are naturally pulled toward their destination. We could just use arrows to point players in the right direction, but that would have made the world feel more cramped. We felt that it was important for players to sense which direction they should be heading while racing, so they think to themselves, this looks like the right turn coming up. Ah, okay. 4 arrows. Yeah, they're still there. Yeah, they're still there. But since players are driving around a vast world, banked corners are back. Yeah. We needed to style a signpost that suited the game. Sometimes we need to clearly indicate the route. For example, there's a crossroad, but in this race you turn right to ensure players wouldn't get lost. In such cases, we made efforts to vary the terrain, such as placing what we call banked parts to guide players. Yeah. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Players will be racing each other at high speed, so we don't want to add a distraction, which way I'm supposed to go now. It's something that's very fundamental to the Mario Kart series up to this day. Cool. Right, so rather than explicitly showing the way the arrows alone, we designed courses to be intuitive, creating a sense of continuity while still making the driving experience pleasant. But isn't there a difference between where beginners get stuck versus where advanced players get stuck? I was so scared because Tour got rid of bank turn. No, for real, the tour designs is like Super Mario Kart type shits. I don't even know. It's shit awkward, man. I was working on the Mario Kart franchise for a long time, so I think I got a good sense of how advanced players think. But newcomers to the series or those less familiar with video games might get stuck in places where the developers didn't expect. Yeah, that's why playtesting is really important. So when designing gameplay in any game, not just this game, it's important to have less experienced players test it out. Exactly. So members of our development team that aren't good at Mario Kart, so we marked them as our favorites. No, for real. Like you gotta have people who are not experienced at the game. Favorites is crazy. No, like you want new players playtesting your game, because they're gonna find shit that you have never experienced or never thought of. We handed the game to a developer with just the right degree of unfamiliarity and said, off you go. We had them play next to us and they were like, oh, so you didn't get that. Interesting. Wait, you talking about me? Oh my god, Sato got called out. Shit, he got called out. It's true, Sato-san, Doe banter. Damn, isn't Sato the composer? That's crazy. If only if it was an interview. Oh, I wish it was a video interview. That would be peak. It's true, Sato-san's one of my favorites. In particular, we felt that we needed to see people like him play the P-Switches mission mode that come out in the game Street Ring mode. Oh, we got... Hold up. We got gameplay. That is way too big. Oh god. Okay, we got mission mode. Oh fuck, this song is familiar. Wait. Stara? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, squiggly. Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, squeaky clean. Oh shit. Wait. That's crazy. We got some Mario Kart 8 musics. Oh, it's so nice. Also, we're full Sonic Frontiers up in this joint. What the hell is this? Like the blue coins in time? That's cool. Damn, we only got 6 seconds left. Goddamn. Dude, the music in this game, bro. Not gonna lie, I won't be shocked that if legit every single song from Mario Kart history is in this game, remixed. Straight up, I won't be surprised if every single Mario Kart track is in this game, just remixed. And maybe not even remixed, but like referenced. At least. Like grinding on rails was a Sonic's thing, to a point that he's gonna be the only game franchise that doesn't do it good. Bro, I love grind rails in Sonic, don't get me wrong. Shadow Generations was pretty peak with the rail grinding. I'm just gonna say it. It's fucking hilarious how Sonic Racing doesn't have grind rails. How the hell is it not in Sonic Racing? Like, there's no shot. Like, unlike traditional courses, we committed a lot of know-how in the P-Switch missions where our first attempt in the game to add something like this. So we particularly value the feedback we got from those who played them. We got people who aren't good at Mario Kart to actually play, and they were like, yep, we thought it might be, that part might be challenging. By repeating the process, we made improvements to those less familiar with the games to enjoy this title. Nice. A challenge begins when you turn on the P-Switches. There are various missions in the free roam mode, just as driving through a row of gates within the time limit and collecting coins. P-Switch missions involve going through paces you normally wouldn't, or repeating actions you wouldn't often perform. But when you go back to the racing after completing the mission in free roam, you realize, hey, I know another route here. You feel like you improve a bit. Yeah, definitely, it's like a free roam, it's like your adventure mode. It's the let me discover the world and actually come up with shortcuts type shit. Pretty much. Get more familiarity with the game. In Mario Kart, we think it's best for players to discover different ways to play as they drive around, so one of our goals was for players to actually pick up skills as they play through the missions. Familiar. It's Undertale. It's the robot, Metaton. Yeah, I think it's Metaton. Yeah. Yeah. I love the song. Our commitment to approachability extends beyond the gameplay itself. Mario Kart series often brings up people together during a holiday season who usually don't play games, so we designed the main menu screen so that you can select the number of players and get started right away. There's rules much bigger in this game, and there's loads of things you can do. But you didn't want it to become so complicated that it takes ages just to start the game. Yeah, just come in, you know, and just... Death by Glamour? Yep, that's the song. It's like Metaton's like EX form, or what the heck it's called. The Smart Seeing Assist feature in Mario Kart Deluxe has been improved. When it's activated, you won't fall off the course. Wow. Cool. Or get lost, so even small children or those less familiar with video games can make it to the finish line. Peak. Cool, little TVs can enjoy the game. I also created the Joy-Con 2 accessory wheel for the Switch 2. It's so intuitive, even for those who aren't used to steering with a control stick. And they can enjoy the feeling of driving the car. It's accessory, you know? Yeah, that one goes, ooh, yes. Oh, you sent it? Oh, that's cool. Hold up, how do I... That's cool. They referenced the Koopa, the falling Koopas in the... Oh yeah, I remember seeing that, but I didn't know what it was a reference to. That was cool. Mario World mentioned the large 2025? That's what you love to see. That's sick. That's pretty sick. I see you added lots of thoughtful touches to make it distinctly Mario Kart. By the way, as the Switch 2 game supports game chat, How does game chat add to the gameplay experience? Yeah. Okay. In this game, you can take pictures in photo mode. That's pretty cool. Also, in Mario Kart games, you can use your opponent's names above. You can see your opponent's names above their vehicles. But if you're using the camera, you can see your face in real time. If everyone uses the camera, it makes it easier to see who's playing each character, and also it's fun to see each other's expression when you hit the 9 with them. That look of despair. Okay, at least they acknowledge the rage. Oh boy, I can't wait. Since the very beginning, Mario Kart has been a game you can enjoy with others in split screen, then online and local wireless were added. Now, game chat, you can even chat with other players and see their faces. That's cool. You know, that's cool. That sounds pretty interesting. Finally, you can see each say a few words to each other who will be playing this game. Later, we talk about the large amount of content in this game. More importantly, I think it's shaped up to be a game that can be played for a very long time. What I personally like about the game is that you experience something new each time you play, mixing up the choice of characters, vehicles, and where you drive in the vast world. I encourage players to snap a lot of pictures in photo mode and create a lot of memories. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, the ostrich is in the game. I forgot about that. I love this one. I think these are from the eShop. Actually, no, these are the pictures from Nintendo Today. Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of these. Yeah, this was posted like a couple days ago. Oh, we got portrait in this shit. Okay, we got portrait. We got portrait mode out in this joint. That one's cute. Yeah. Yeah, these are from Nintendo Today. Oh, there's like a circle bitty buggy. That's what I want to know about Nintendo Today. Luigi's death was about to become real. Crazy. Also, W4K screenshots though. Nintendo Today. Dude, bro. At least to give me information that, you know, it does its purpose. Oh, you didn't put that emoji? Crazy. The game has more music tracks than any other game in the series. We want to put in the series. We already knew it was more than 8 plus booster cores past DLC, but now it's confirmed. That's crazy. We want players to stay engaged in the vast world for a long time without getting bored, and I hope the soundtrack will support those efforts. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be peak. We poured a lot of effort into each and every song. 2,199, probably. Our goal is to create distinctive music, and that's fun to just listen to while driving around. We also worked hard on the sound effects so that you can hear the changing scenery. So if you love you, turn up the volume TV. Yo, can we get volume sliders though? They would never. In addition to the vast world, we added new elements such as rail ride and wall ride to allow for more diverse driving styles. Players can discover various ways to play with these new elements, but it means that they might find routes and techniques that others didn't expect, which is quite terrifying. Oh yeah, people are gonna break this game day one. Their Bitty Bud plus Bitty Buggy combo will go insane. Bro, it's time. The thing is, it'll be fun not for just newcomers, but for advanced Mario Kart players who are into time trials. The call out here is insane. The call out here is insane. Nintendo, the first thing I'm going to do when the game gets released is listen to the entire playlist for 27 weeks and then find a repetitive lull. Hey, you know, at least there's like variants. The music will switch up pretty quickly, you know, so probably won't get boring that quickly, you know. We also added new modes and missions, so we hope you'll you'll experiment various ways of driving with this vast world and continue enjoying the game for a long time. The fuck is this? As a designer, I started working on a project wondering, can we really make all this? Looking back on it, it was a huge challenge that allowed us to have fun and creating lots of different things with close attention to detail. In previous Mario Kart games, the courses were separate, we could only view one by one. But now they look different depending on the angle, time of day, and the mode you're playing. It's open world, yo. We packed a lot of detail to them. In fact, even for a single road sign, there's a relationship between the sign and another sign that are a little further away. There's a lot of elements that went into creating this continuous world, so we hope you enjoy taking a breather between the races and partake in some free roam to discover some new things. By the way, this game's road signs are also available as stickers you can stick on your vehicle, so be sure to click your favorite and start equipping them for free. But what the fuck? What the fuck? Huh? So that's what the signs were. What the hell? Finally, game is peak. We got stickers? Hold up. The red shell looks nice. The weird water droplet flower looks fire. That looks cool. Even when driving, I guess you could, I guess it's like a pre-designated slot on the car. I don't think you can put the sticker wherever on the car. I think it's probably like a pre-designated slot. You started Mario Kart World, crazy. Imagine it says like 95% players have it. How? Even when driving along the same road, the scenery changes depending on the weather and time of day. So it feels like you're heading somewhere new each time. So no matter how many times you play, it feels like you're experiencing everything the game has to offer. We hope that you continue playing for a long time and experience new moments on every drive. One more thing we like to highlight is the replay feature. Once the race is over, you can rewind and fast forward to review your performance. Oh, we got replays. Nice, just like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? Hope it's like a little MKTV is real. Hell yeah. Hope it has like more controls though. We hope that you replay the funniest and best moments while playing with friends and take some beautiful snaps in photo mode. Now Yubuki-san, can you please share some closing remarks? Mario Kart is a game where anything can happen. We developed this game hoping for players to experience those moments, or they think to themselves, I can't believe that just happened. And I believe that we just achieved just that. And what? Wow. Let me redo that. I can't believe that just happened, and I believe we achieved just that. Even if it's been a while since you last played a Mario Kart game, I hope you be motivated to come back to the series and re-experience such moments. I'm sure some of you might be reading this right now, playing Mario Kart 8, and it's been like over 10 years since that game was originally released. That's me! We'd like to thank everyone who's played it or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We believe that Mario Kart World marks the dawn of a new generation for the series, so we hope you give it a try. Crazy. Also, you felt a sense of accomplishment. Thank you, Yubuki-san. That's a funny line. Crazy. I can't believe Mario started moving when I pressed A. Insane. That's right, this game is the lead of a new generation. Whoa! Or I so think. Nice. In this game, Mario Kart World, players can race around a vast interconnected world. I look forward to seeing what experiences await us there. Thank you very much. W Ask the Developer article. Not gonna lie.